All right, welcome to another episode from Chart Readers. So I will for sure be focusing on AI, Palantir, and NVDA. However, have to start with Guard Force here. And more than anything, there was someone in the comments, all right, that actually said he was expecting another offering. The funny thing is he said it was in 90 days, which I actually thought was a little more realistic. I don't think anybody expected them to do it roughly a week from when they did the last one. Like, look what happened on the last one. Look what happens today, right? So, an offering is not necessarily bad. All right, it's like I like to sell when I make some profits. So is Guard Force here. I think the fact that they've done this so quickly really just kind of I would be scared as an investor, right? Like that makes me think, do they genuinely believe that these numbers are bullshit? They're not even worth the 4.99 that they're dying to sell. You know what I mean? So like, offerings aren't bad. It's just it looks horrible when you're doing it this close to the last one. And again, the last one was done so much lower than the original price, right? Or the day prior price. So I just at least want to talk about Guard Force, even if you don't watch any of the rest of this video. All right. From there, we'll do a normal video. All right. We're gonna talk about the daily and the weekly like we normally do. We'll take a look at our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, comment anything you want. Honestly, anything you can do really does help with the YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here and giving me your time is beyond appreciated, all right? And look, I'm not perfect, I'm not all knowing, and yeah, I definitely get things wrong, you know? So if you've got better opinions than me, I would very much love to hear them, okay? So let's get going. And you know, on the last video, I was definitely a little worried about AI, but one of the big things I said was, look, as long as you can confirm, as long as you can pretty much start getting me over this candle, I think some good things will happen. And this is done actually pretty well. I very much say this often, right? When you have two lines, it actually doesn't even matter what two lines, but when you have two lines so close to each other, the moving averages are hard to break by themselves. When you get two stacked like this, it's no easy task, right? And this day we definitely break both in a single candle. That's not a good confirmation, and neither is this. I can see that we're over the two lines still on both days. Like I'm very, very aware of that, right? That said, come on, these two don't make me believe, yep, we've just taken the 20 and the 100. You know what I mean? So I need one more good push up to actually believe that we're taking these lines. Because look, end of the day, MACD is still in the negative. All right, RSI is not looking fantastic. It was starting to kind of want to look all right, but it's very much flattening out, if not getting a little bit worse than flat, if I'm looking at it well, right? But yeah, volume just it's just it's been all right, but not good. There's like no other way of saying that. You know what I mean? Like we haven't had a good test of or break of the white line in a good while. You know what I mean? This 50 average line. So end of the day, I'll say this, it's holding up well. And let's be honest, I'm real glad we're talking about 19 something and wondering if it's going to go a little bit low than talking about losing 17 and wondering if we're going to be at 14 or 13 by now, right? So end of the day, I'm very, very cool at least holding this 200 line. All right. And let's just zoom out a little bit. Let's talk about this. This 200 line is still relatively fresh, right? So we've broken it. And now, as far as I'm seeing it, we've actually bounced off of it. So I know it doesn't seem wildly great, but in terms of a longer technical hold, I actually think that that's very, very reassuring. And you know what? I'll draw a trend line. Let's do that. I don't have very many trend lines here. Yeah, that's beautiful. Actually, oh, I went too high, as I said. That's beautiful, right there. Okay, so I'm basically taking it from the corner of that, and then I basically looked for this corner right here, and I happened to hit that one as well, and I was happy. I didn't choose this one because I think this is the bigger candle that matters more. So this is what we're going to call our trend line, and I think as long as we can stay over some good moving averages, and as long as we don't lose this trend, we should be good. You know what I mean? And then if we lose the trend, obviously we'll adjust it, but again, we cannot go lower than 1730 on this, all right? I'll look at the weekly really quickly, but I don't think, oh wow, this actually lines up really well with the week. Generally, when I do a daily trend line, it doesn't always like beautifully fit on the weekly. But yeah, that actually very much does, and that's actually really nice to see. Um, Cool. Okay, I'm surprised that we've had two decent weeks, but that RSI is actually going diverging down, and actually so is the MACD. That's really odd, actually. Again, I don't pretend to know the math on the lines, right? I just like to think I can know how to read it well, right? So, interesting down here on the weekly, but yeah, so far this weekly is actually not that bad. But end of the day, we are under the 8 and the 20, right? We're definitely trying to bounce on the 50 over the two lines, but again, bad things happen under the 8 and the 20 on the weekly, on the daily, on the monthly. I don't care on what, right? So AI has some work to do, but one more time, just as long as we're over 17, that's way better than anything else. It's been a while since Palantir has been on this video, all right? I, for lack of words, banished it to its own within AMD is what it was. Because of this, look, I hate horizontal clusters. It's really hard to tell what's going to happen. There's moments when it's going to go up, moments when it's going to go down, moments when it's going to go up, moments when it's going to go down. I'm really glad the market liked the earnings call, all right? I'm not here to pretend I saw the earnings, I read the earnings. I know nothing about the earnings, all right? I have absolutely no idea if it was good financials, if it was new government contracts, no idea. All I know is it was good enough to gap us out of this moving average cluster that sucked, right? So what are we basically doing right now? Look, I think a couple things is what I'm watching for. The first question I really have is which of these two channels are we actually in? So what does that mean? Are we in this $9 to $9.71 channel, the two lines, right? The gap in here, this channel? Or did we actually break 971 and are we now in this channel? All right. And what I'm basically trying to see, and I think we'll find out on Friday tomorrow, if I had to guess, is look, what's going to happen with 971? Are we going to hold 971? Are we going to keep going up, or are we going to lose 971? If we can hold, keep going up, dude, even if we close at like 998, literally, like, just get me a little bit over I'm not going to draw the line, but if we can close at 995, I'll be happy, because you can see the 510 day closes at 994. We have to get over the 510 candle, or I'd be a little worried we'd lose 9.7. Now, listen to me. I really doubt we're falling back into the cluster, all right? What we're probably going to do is wait for the 8 moving average to come up. If we come down, I don't think we're coming down to 9 either. I think if we lose 9.71, the lowest this should go is 9.55. You know what I mean? So this should hold it. But yeah, let's let the 8 catch up a little bit. Let's let the 20 catch up a little bit. But yeah, if this can break 955 on Friday, like close over 955 tomorrow, I would feel really good going into the weekend and into Monday, actually. So Palantir, look, it's a completely different game once you're out of the cluster. That's really the moral of the story, okay? We broke 3 moving averages on a single candle, all right? This 50 moving average, you can see, has been a pesky line really since it's been made, right? We break it once, no good confirmation, horrible loss, never touch it again. We break it once, no confirmation. Break it once, no confirmation. Break it once, no confirmation. Break it well. This thing needs to give me good confirmation. And again, I think that goes back into the channel conversation. If we can just go just a little bit higher, it's going to really make me believe that we're in this channel. And hopefully confirmation means we're going to be coming up to either 11 something or, yeah, maybe somewhere around here. I think I'm going to let me draw this line. Let's see where it looks, and then let's adjust it on the daily just to put something in between those two. Where are we at? We're at this place here. No. Okay, I see what it did. It kind of has the bottom of that right there. I don't like this line, though. Because it's basically trying to take the bottom. I don't like that. I'm going to raise it to here. I think that's my line. It's a little lower than I want it to be. Sorry. 1 second. Right there. I think that's my line. I'm going to take 50% of this big candle. And it actually roughly chops the 2 in half. So I like that. But yeah, this is, I think, a good breakout for Palantir. And then let's end this one with NVDA, NVIDIA. Man, this 280 line, it's crazy. I'm not in this thing yet, all right? I'm still very much waiting. It's weird because NASDAQ's not doing bad, but it's not doing poorly, you know? And I'm starting to see a couple of the bigger things doing a little bit better, if I'm not mistaken. And NVIDIA, I'm just really looking for one good sign to genuinely believe we're going to break out of the 280. And I'll be honest, that might mean I miss a really strong, like 5-7% gain, but I would much rather get good confirmation to believe that we're out of the line than like get in too early. Look, end of the day, this is still very technically sound. All we're doing is bouncing on the 8 and the 20, bouncing on the 8 and the 20. Even up here, just like textbook, bouncing on the 8 and bouncing on the 20, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think this is a really strong line, and yeah, I think it's gonna be I'm gonna need a good confirmation for me, but I'm telling you, I'm actually dying to get into this stock if you really want to know the truth. This one might be something I'd hold, not even swing too, but um, again, we're making a really interesting pattern on the weekly here, actually. Interesting doji. Actually looks like RSI might be slipping a little bit, and actually looks like MACD might be slipping a little bit. So I don't know if that's a little indicative of next week being maybe a little bit challenging here, but yeah, Nvidia has been moving. It's been an interesting movement, and really, it's been a real interesting play on this 180 line over the last couple of weeks. So I'm definitely still watching it, to say the least. But hey, look, these are my thoughts and opinions. I very much appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you.